Okay. Let's get started. Okay, go ahead.
Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. Namo Fundamental Teacher Shakyamuni Buddha. The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma, in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I have come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual meaning.
That's good. Okay. Let's see. Oh, let me we done with the chapter 14, right? Now we go to chapter 15, I think. The 10 dwelling. Before the 10 dwelling, the 10 faiths. Okay. That is the first 10. Now it's 10 dwelling. Okay. You remember I briefly talk about the 52 states, right? Of the Bodhisattva path.
Yes.
The 10 faith. 10 faith, I mean faith, right? And 10 dwellings. And 10 conduct. And 10 canceling marriage. And 10 round. Chi là chỗ cha OUND. 10 round. And the next one is the they call the ultimate enlightenment. And the 52 one is the wonderful enlightenment. That means the Buddha. The Buddhahood. That is the 52 state. Good. Good. Let me see if they have any outline so we can talk about that. Give me 1 second. God. Let me see. 15. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, we can quickly read this one.
At that time, Dharma Wisdom Bodhisattva received the Buddha's awesome power and entered the samadhi of a bodhisattva's limitless skill and means. Through the power of samadhi in each of the 10 directions, beyond world systems as many as motes of dust in 1,000 Buddha lands, there were Buddhas as many as fine motes of dust in 1,000 Buddha lands, all with the same name. That name was Dharma Wisdom. They everywhere appeared before him and spoke to Dharma Wisdom, saying, good indeed, good man, that you are able to enter the samadhi of a bodhisattva's limitless skill and means. Good man, in each of the 10 directions, Buddhas as many as fine motes of dust in 1,000 Buddha lands all use their spiritual power and together help you enter it. It is also because of the power of past vows of Vairochana thus come one, his awesome spiritual power, and the power of the good roots which you have cultivated, that you enter this samadhi, and that causes you to speak Dharma.
Okay, good. Stop right here. Stop right here. So let's quickly summarize this thing.
Okay, so this is speaking of a bodhisattva named Dharma Wisdom, who through the power of the Buddhas entered a samadhi called Bodhisattva's limitless skill and means. And through the power of this samadhi, throughout, world systems as numerous as motes of dust in 1,000 Buddha lands, then there were as many Buddhas as fine motes of dust in the same Buddha land. So just like limitless world systems with limitless Buddhas, and their power is what helped Dharma Wisdom Bodhisattva enter this samadhi, and they praise him for his ability to enter the samadhi. And they say it is because of the power of the Buddhas and also because of the past vows of Vairochana.
You know who invites Vairochana, right?
Yes, yeah, we've discussed Vairochana, and Vairochana, I had heard Vairochana in the past described as the Dharma body.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's right. Dhamma body
and so
of
also
who?
I've
Dhamma
heard
body of who?
of Shakyamuni Buddha.
That's right.
And
Because yes, Dhamma body of Buddha the same, but they do each Buddha do have the different name.
okay.
Okay.
So yeah, you're the one who told me that. Because I'd also heard it described as the Vairochana as the primordial Buddha. But then you kind of corrected me with
Mm.
it being the Dharma body of Shakyamuni.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah. And then yeah, that's as far as we read, right? Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and read this one.
For the purpose of increasing the wisdom of a Buddha, deeply entering the Dharma realm, understanding well the realms of living beings, unobstructed entry, unimpeded conduct, attaining unequaled skill and means, entering the nature of all wisdom, awakening to all dharmas, knowing all faculties, and being able to hold and speak all dharmas, there are said to arise 10 kinds of dwellings of all bodhisattvas. Good man, you should receive the Buddha's awesome spiritual power and proclaim this Dharma. At that time, all the Buddhas gave Dharma wisdom, Bodhisattva, unobstructed wisdom, unattached wisdom, uninterrupted wisdom, undiluted wisdom, non-differentiating wisdom, unerring wisdom, limitless wisdom, unsurpassed wisdom, non-negligent wisdom, and unarrested wisdom. Why is this? It is because through the power of this samadhi, the Dharma is that way. At that time, each of the Buddhas extended his right hand and rubbed the crown of Dharma Wisdom Bodhisattva's head. Dharma Wisdom Bodhisattva then arose from samadhi and spoke to all the Bodhisattvas, saying, disciples of the Buddha, Bodhisattvas dwell in places as vast and great as the Dharma realm and like empty space. Disciples of the Buddha, Bodhisattvas dwell in the household of all Buddhas of the 3 periods of time. I will now discuss those dwellings of a bodhisattva. Disciples of the Buddha, there are 10 kinds of dwellings of a bodhisattva, which all Buddhas of the past, the future, and the present have discussed, will discuss, and now discuss. What are the 10? They are the dwelling of first bringing forth the resolve, the dwelling of the ground of regulation, the dwelling of cultivation, the dwelling of noble birth, the dwelling of endowment with skill and means, the dwelling of rectification of mind, the dwelling of non-retreat, the dwelling of pure youth, the dwelling of Dharma prince, the dwelling and anointment of the crown.
Good, that's good. Stop right there. Okay. So we read all this thing together. So that will be we briefly go through. But this chapter is also good. You see this Bodhisattva here, the Dharma wisdom, right? Bodhisattva, he the one that who attended the 10 well. And do you know what does it mean? All the Buddha reach out their hand to rub on his head. You know what does that represent?
It's just showing their approval of his determination and practice.
Yeah, certify his attainment.
Mm.
Mm. And also the samadhi is called the bodhisattva limitless skill in mean. That means this 10 developed state here is they use some unlimited skill mean to help living being throughout the 10 developing state.
Mhm.
And did you notice something here? What is the first one they do here?
Yeah, first bringing forth the resolve. That reminds me of um, our class where we're talking about bodhicitta.
Right. So that means before we do any dwelling, that means dwelling, that means the firm determination, right? Uh, unre non-retreat um have to come out first with the ring for the body mind,
Mm.
the bodhicitta. That's important. Without the bodhicitta, we cannot practice the bodhisattva path. Yeah. So this dwelling I think this is the starting stage of practice the bodhisattva path. Not the 10 faith. The 10 faith is just we have the faith into it, into the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha, as well as the Buddha nature, right? And more into it. And you see, this is the route recollection. I think it's one we resolve it, and that means we have to establish. I think to have some kind of established, right? And I think well, and the cultivation. After the cultivation, they were the noble birth. That means they begin to attend the some kind of noble or the saintly state. But remember, the initial the round of the 10 round, he considered to be just like the fourth state of the Arhat. It's equal to the extreme enter. Not this 10 dwelling. Does that make sense?
You said the initial ground
Yeah, of the 10 round.
of the
The
10,
first round, the first round,
the first ground. Okay.
equal to, equivalent to the
Mentor.
extreme enter of the Arhat.
Okay.
It means that, yeah, for the the wisdom and uh, um, the that means that person who be able to attend the stream enter, that means they have only 7 life to before they reach the Arhat, right? Remember that?
Yes. Yeah.
Then the Buddha guarantee that this person will never fall, even though they go back and 7 times, right? Buddha guarantee that this person will not fall into the evil realm. Never. Because why? You know why?
So yeah, right. The stream enterer, they're um because every stage they achieve something and they
The 10 feather, remember which 3 feather that they remove?
oh gosh. I can't remember.
The first one is the feather about the cell, right? The cell delusion.
Okay.
That means the cell, attachment to the cell. Or the fire aggregate that we attach to the fire aggregate at the cell.
Okay.
And the second state is prohibit. Let me open that one more time.
Or the grasping at prohibitions.
Right. That's right. They will understand that. They will not attach to those things. And the third one is the Tao.
Yeah, okay.
That they remove the Tao. That means for the Buddhist teaching, they have full faith into it, and they will understand it. That means they have no doubt to the Buddha teaching. That's the first three. But they do not yet remove the anger and the greed. Not yet. But the Buddha guarantee that they do not fall back to the evil world. But for the dwelling here, yes, it's for the Bodhisattva, they sometimes they do retreat. They do retreat. Because when they come to a story about the Sariputta when he practiced the Bodhisattva, 60 kappa. And this is the time that he willing to give up everything, include his own body. There is, I think, one of the heaven, Osaka, he went down, he wanted to test this Bodhisattva. And he said that, you know what, I have my wife, right? I think my wife have lost her eyes. And I heard that if the doctor, the doctor told me that if I have to have the eye that the one who do not have greed and hatred, that I can help her to be able to recover the vision, right? So the Bodhisattva, that means the one of the former line of the Sariputta said that, yeah, I will give you. He poked out his eye and give to that person. And that person said, no, I mean the right eye, not the left one.
That's terrible.
Okay, the Bodhisattva said, okay, all right, let me do another eye. He also took out the other one and give to him. And you know what? He rolled both eye and he looked at the eye. This is so disgusting. This is so dirty. How will that help my wife to be able to recover the vision? And he rolled on around and he stepped on the eye. And the Bodhisattva at that time, he said that, oh my goodness, all the sentiment like this person is so evil. It's very tough to help them, to rescue them. I will give up. I go back to my practice for my own. That means he retreat back to Pasika Buddha or the Arahant practice. That means they also possible for them to retreat. But if they be able to keep it up and continue on, they develop both blessing as well as the wisdom. But Arahant, the fourth stage of Arahant, only on the wisdom, but not the blessing. Okay. But they will not. They will not be the source of the happiness of other, right? But the Bodhisattva is different. So the noble birth, that means that let's see what is the noble birth. We can do let's see, number 4. We quickly go there and do a little bit. You can read the noble birth a little bit.
Disciples of the Buddha What is the bodhisattva's dwelling of noble birth? This bodhisattva is born from within the sagely teaching. He accomplishes 10 dharmas. What are the 10? They are never retreating, deeply bringing forth pure faith in the presence of all Buddhas, well contemplating dharmas, comprehensively knowing all living beings, countries, worlds, karmic actions, retributions, birth and death, and nirvana. Those are the 10. Disciples of the Buddha, this bodhisattva should encourage the study of 10 dharmas. What are the 10? They are comprehensively knowing the dharmas of all Buddhas of the past, present, and future. Cultivating and amassing the dharmas of all Buddhas of the past, present, and future, or the past, future, and present. Perfecting the dharmas of all Buddhas of the past, future, and present, and comprehensively knowing the sameness of all Buddhas. Why is that? From a desire to progress within the 3 periods of time and obtain sameness of mind. When one hears the Dharma, one understands it by oneself, not from the teachings of another.
What do you understand?
Okay. The idea of the noble birth is that the bodhisattva is born from the teachings, and he accomplishes 10 dharmas, so that the 10, then it lists the 10 dharmas that are accomplished. So one of them is never retreating, which we just discussed, the retreating, and then just lists all the other ones. And if you would like, I can discuss what I think of the individual ones.
Go
But
ahead.
the next paragraph, it mentions that it also, they study. So they accomplish 10 dharmas and they study 10 dharmas. So that's interesting. And then it's, the dharmas of the Buddhas of the 3 periods, to know them, and then to cultivate and amass them, and then to perfect them, and then to know the sameness of all Buddhas.
So, what the difference between the two 10?
Yeah, so one is these dharmas are accomplished. So never retreating, that's, I guess, that's a state someone can accomplish where their mind is such that it can be known that they will never retreat. But prior to achieving that, they still may retreat. And so these are things that can be accomplished, to such as contemplating the Dharma as well and having pure faith in the Buddhas. The other 10, they should be studied, it says. So I guess studying and knowing, like studying and accomplishing, can be distinguished. So you should study the 10 dharmas. What are the 10? But then the 10 are cultivating and amassing the dharmas. So cultivation, to me, it signifies an incomplete action, like an action that's never complete. Whereas accomplishment, that signifies an action that is complete.
Okay.
I drove to Florida. I accomplished that. But if I'm cultivating, so long as I'm cultivating, I'm never done. Like every season, I have to plow the field, plant the seeds, pull the weeds, make the harvest.
Actually, the first one you said right. So deeply faith into the Buddha and Buddha teaching, and therefore he be able to contemplate on the teaching, right? But the second one is the study of the Dharma of all Buddha in three period of 10 directions. If when we hear someone say that vast learning, we give up easily, don't you think?
Oh, if we if we see a mountain ahead of us that's like so tall that we just think we can't climb it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And therefore, in this case, even though the Bodhisattva know that it's yes, we have faith into the Buddha teaching, but now it's time for us to learn and to study and to cultivate and to cultivate, right? So how much? Well, of 3 period of time of Buddha in the 10 direction. Hey, that's a lot. And this is what they call the noble birth. So the noble birth. Now, after the noble birth, we see quickly to the skew and mean.
Okay. Disciples of the Buddha, what is the Bodhisattva's dwelling of the endowment with skill and means? All the good roots that this Bodhisattva has cultivated are used to save and protect all living beings, to benefit all living beings, to make all living beings happy, to have sympathy for all living beings, to liberate all living beings, to cause all living beings to separate from all disasters, to cause all living beings to escape from the suffering of birth and death, to cause all living beings to produce pure faith, to completely subdue all living beings, and to cause all living beings to certify to nirvana. Disciples of the Buddha, this Bodhisattva should encourage the study of 10 dharmas. What are the 10? They are knowing the boundlessness of living beings, knowing the limitlessness of living beings, knowing the numberlessness of living beings, knowing the inconceivability of living beings, knowing the limitless forms of living beings, knowing the immeasurability of living beings, knowing the emptiness of living beings, knowing the non-creation of living beings, knowing the lack of existence of living beings, and knowing the lack of a self-nature of living beings. Okay. So, keep going. The last one. Why is that? From a desire to bring one's mind to increase and advance in supremacy, with no defiling attachment to the Dharma that one hears, one understands it by oneself, not because of instructions from another.
Good, so.
Okay.
Is
So,
there any connection between the V-bit one and this one?
oh, the number 4 and number in this one here. So, let's see. It's also 10 dharmas. They discuss that should be the study of 10 dharmas in the second paragraph. In the first paragraph, well, it makes clear the intention that all of the blessings that a bodhisattva cultivates, the good or the good roots, are dedicated to saving living beings and benefiting them. And then the rest of that paragraph just describes in detail the different facets or aspects of benefiting them. So, I mean, that's the same true of like the Buddha Dharma. That is the purpose of that.
So what is the good root in here mean? Or the good root?
A good root would mean practice of the Dharma. Yeah, anything like, praising Buddhas, practicing generosity. So basically, practicing the Buddha way, practicing the
So
Bodhisattva.
that come from the 4?
Yeah, yeah.
The good root come from the 4, right? Without the 4, you don't have a good root.
Yeah.
So therefore, now we are just like when we go to school and we study so hard, right? In order to have let's say that we need to if we in order to help others, we need to have some kind of skill set or some kind of mean, right? Therefore, we have to go to school and we let's whatever the major we pick, right? We have to finish it. Even though we choose, let's say, computer science, but at the same time, you have the general knowledge about other stuff as well. Not only specifically to focus on the computer science as well. So that means the skill set, it comes from many different aspects, many different angles. And you can use that skill set and you bring that to life, right? So other people can be benefit from it. It's the same thing. That means the 4 one is we have the faith into the Buddha teaching. Now we learn it, we studied so hard for many lifetimes. At the same time, when we study, we also use that as the mean to help them. Because now it become the we have it, and it become the skill set that we can provide to help living being, right?
Mhm.
So this is important. And help living being to do what? So basically, it's to save and protect them and benefit them and make them happy and sympathy and liberate them from suffering, cause them all to separate from the disaster, and so on and so on. This is important. So and so basically they this is the 10 dwelling. So we just briefly go through it. We don't have to because this will be sometime. Okay, anyway, we just know that this is the 10 dwelling that we so now we have the means to help and rectification of the mind. What did this word mean?
Uh, Correction or fixing it or taking it back to how it was before, normalizing it.
Hmm. Let's see, what does that mean? Now we can read it.
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead. Not bad to do it, I guess.
Disciples of the Buddha, what is the Bodhisattva's dwelling of rectification of the mind? The mind of this Bodhisattva, upon hearing 10 kinds of dharmas, is in samadhi and does not move. What are the 10? They are hearing praise of the Buddha, hearing slander of the Buddha. Within the Buddha Dharma, one's mind is in samadhi and does not move. Hearing praise of the Dharma, hearing slander of the Dharma. Within the Buddha Dharma, one's mind is in samadhi and does not move. Hearing praise of the Bodhisattvas, hearing slander of the Bodhisattvas. Within the Buddha Dharma, one's mind is in samadhi and does not move. Hearing praise of the Dharmas cultivated by Bodhisattvas, hearing slander of the Dharmas cultivated by Bodhisattvas. Within the Buddha Dharma, one's mind is in samadhi and does not move. Hearing it said that living beings have limits, are limitless. Within the Buddha Dharma, one's mind is in samadhi and does not move. Hearing it said that living beings are defiled, are undefiled. Within the Buddha Dharma, one's mind is in samadhi and does not move. Hearing it said that living beings are easy to save, are difficult to save. Within the Buddha Dharma, one's mind is in samadhi and does not move. Hearing it said that the Dharma realms have limits, are limitless. Within the Buddha Dharma, one's mind is in samadhi and does not move. Hearing it said that Dharma realms are created, are destroyed. Within the Buddha Dharma, one's mind is in samadhi and does not move. Hearing it said that the Dharma realms exist, that the Dharma realms do not exist. Within the Buddha Dharma, one's mind is in samadhi and does not move. These are the 10. Disciples of the Buddha, this Bodhisattva should encourage the study of 10 dharmas. What are the 10? They are: all dharmas have no marks. All dharmas have no substance. All dharmas cannot be cultivated. All dharmas have no existence. All dharmas have no true actuality. All dharmas are empty. All dharmas have no nature. All dharmas are like an illusion. All dharmas are like a dream. All dharmas have no differentiation. Why is that? From a desire to bring one's mind to ever increase in vigor and obtain non-retreating patience with the non-production of dharmas. When one hears the dharma, one understands it by oneself, not from the teachings of another. Yeah. Um, so the pattern here is that the bodhisattva's mind in the dwelling of rectification of the mind is not disturbed um, by either praise or slander of those things which would naturally be, precious to a bodhisattva,
Mhm.
such as, the Buddhas, the Dharma, the Bodhisattva's dharmas, like all of these things that a normal human being, like if someone, spoke ill of, my mother, I may react and I might come to her defense
Mm.
before, you know, with from a place of reactivity.
Mm.
But in a bodhisattva's cultivation, they're not reactive. Their mind stays stable even if someone slanders the Buddha.
Okay.
Um, and then all of these other ideas, so they don't get caught up in frivolous debates. They're not about being right in some sort of argument. They're about liberating living beings. So I think the mind being stabilized in this samadhi prevents them from being caught up in debating about whether something is or isn't, or, kind of a useless thing. But then the next 10 dharmas are sort of, to me, they would be like sort of the underpinning of that ability to remain in that samadhi and not be reactive. Because if they recognize that all dharmas have no marks, they recognize that they don't have substance, they cannot be cultivated. Well, it's easier, to not be reactive if someone says something about them, because they recognize that their their sort of, you could say, their true nature, even though it says they have no nature, that's kind of like a description of their true nature. So just for convenience, I'll say their true nature.
Okay. You see, so the mind will not be moved, right? Either phrasing or slander or limit or limitless, right?
Mhm.
But in order to be able to have that kind of samadhi, they need to learn this thing because this practice can help them to be able to in samadhi. You know what is no mark mean?
Yeah, marks are something that distinguishes something from something else. Like,
In the Diamond Sutra, there are 4 marks. You remember bring up one time? No?
okay, isn't there like is self and other,
Yeah,
a life, like is a life, uh, a potential mark, like self, other, a life,
okay, here, 4 mark.
of the mark of sentient beings.
The mark of self, right, is the attachment of having the self of one own, right? Existing independently, needing to be cultivated and protected. That means the self. Okay. The mark of order to see that other people exist differently from us, and because of that distinction, there are dispute and conflict, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we attach to the mark, that means attachment, right? The mark of sentiment is to see that there are all kind of sentiment different from us. Each living being in different environment, different from ourselves, like human, animal, right? They are different than living being. And the mark of life is to believe that every living being have a body which truly exists and end according to the lifespan. These marks are generally a place of for perception and understanding, not by the true appearance and true nature. That is why Buddha taught that these 4 marks do not exist. You understand the 4 marks do not exist?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What does exist mean?
Well, if something exists, then we should be able to measure its beginning and its end. And we can't measure the beginning or end of any of these things.
Okay, that's it because our 4 perception,
Mm-hmm.
right? That make it exist. And therefore now Buddha said that it is a 4 perception that is not the true appearance and not true nature. Therefore, it do not exist. Okay. So Now go back to here. Oh, okay. So if we learn how to do not attach, for example, when we do the given, right? We perform the given, we don't see ourselves as the giver. That means the mark of self. And we don't see the receiver, that is the mark of other, right?
Mhm.
And therefore, we do not see there an object to given, right? Therefore, or when we give to the group of people, that means we don't see the mark of living being, no, the mark of life or whatever. So because every one of us have a different blessing, right? Therefore, we do not discriminate by that. That means we equally depend on what they need, right? We just give it. The whole purpose of giving is to create the good affinity with them. So help them to understand the Buddha teaching, eventually help them to see the thing that it's not, they see real, so they can be able to see not real. So, and we know that all Dhamma have no substance, right? Because they are impermanent. They are non-self, right? They are no substance. Therefore, because they are non-self, no substance, it's nothing for us to attend. And therefore, there's no need for cultivate. So this thing is very tricky. If that's the case, why do we need to learn the Buddha teaching?
I think that the teachings are kind of like guide rails for when the mind is not balanced in the self nature. Like in Zen practice, the practice is to bring awareness directly to what is and not recourse to thinking. But naturally, we will recourse to thinking from time to time. And so if we've studied all of these dharmas and have all of these right thoughts, then that sort of right thinking will help bring us back to like seeing directly into the original nature, like practicing like bringing that awareness with what is and not remaining in conception. So it's like they're like protective conceptions that help to keep us on the path.
So basically, yes, if we are not yet enlightened, we are not yet attend the ultimate wisdom, that means the prajna or the true emptiness. Then therefore, everything that we practice, the Dharma, it represents for just like a boat. A boat means it helps us to carry us from one shore to the other, the shore of ignorance to the shore of enlightenment. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
When we reach the shore of enlightenment, yeah, then you still need a boat to carry a boat on land?
No.
No, then at that time you don't need a boat. Then we say that no need to cultivate. That's why Arahat, they no need to study anymore. There are nothing more for them to learn. Um, but therefore, when we reach to that state, there no need to cultivate. But if we not yet, we still cultivate. Okay. No existence, right? Because the existence come from the cause and the condition. That's why things come into existence. But when the condition is no longer there, it will no more existence, right? We call that basically. Of course, Dharma have no true, because they are delusion. Yeah, Dharma are empty, but because they are non-self and impermanent, no nature, and this is easy to understand, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so today we basically we finished the 10 dwelling, I guess. The after we learn this one, therefore we be able to understand this one, right? Non-retreat of the 10 things that we just talking about. All Dhamma have no mark. All Dhamma have no okay, where are you? No substance, no cannot be cultivated, all this thing here. Then that means to the next level, that come to non-retreat and pure you. That means it's just like it's pure in the state of very pure, just like the Dhamma Prince. And after the prince become the take the wrong, right? They have to go. Is that true?
Yeah, I think princes have crowns, or when they become the king, they certainly
Right.
have a crown.
Right. Mhm. So that okay. Anyway, so we just briefly go to here. Any question before we start?
Um, hmm. No, Ty. No questions today.
And don't you think the thing with quickly go through here? It's interesting, right?
Oh, yes, yes.
We know little by little each chapter before we can go into the detail of each one.
The comprehensiveness of it is really amazing. It's like you can look at something with your eyes, and then you can get you can get a microscope and you can look at it closer, and you can like look at it closer and closer and closer and see all of these like greater details. That's what this sutra feels like, is it's just going into such depth of resolution to the teachings.
So after we're done with the 40 chapter, right? Review, briefly summarize, then I will give you the big picture, how it look like. Okay. All right.
Oh, and Ty, did you look at any of the? Oh, I'll wait till after we do the dedication task.
Okay.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Okay.
Did you check out any of the